Before the smartphone, before text messaging, before the world lived online, there was the beep, a pocket-sized device with a tiny glowing screen, a string of numbers, a secret code that only you and the sender understood. It summoned doctors to emergencies. It connected lovers across city streets. It gave power to executives and to dealers in back alleys. The pager or beeper was more than a gadget. It was a cultural icon, a lifeline, and a language all its own. This is the story of the pager, the beeper that connected a generation. The pager's story begins in the early 1950s. Technology was entering a new age of miniaturization. Radios were shrinking, transistors were emerging, and communication was moving closer to mobility. The first pagers were crude, bulky, and used almost exclusively in hospitals. Doctors carried them in leather holsters, waiting for a beep that meant life or death. Motorola became the pioneer. Their 1959 model, the Pageboy I, was among the first to catch on. It didn't even have a screen. It just beeped. A piercing, unmistakable sound that told the wearer, "Call the hospital, now." It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't stylish. But it was revolutionary. For the first time, people could be reached instantly, no matter where they were. The world had discovered the power of being connected. By the 1980s, the pager had transformed from a medical tool into a mass-market marvel. Advances in radio networks allowed coverage to spread across cities, then across entire countries. Motorola, again, led the charge. Their sleek, black, belt-clipped pagers became status symbols. If you wore one, it meant you were important. Doctors still used them, but so did lawyers, salesmen, taxi drivers, and executives. The beep was the sound of responsibility, of being needed, of being powerful. By the mid-1990s, more than 60 million people worldwide carried pagers. Some could display phone numbers, others simple text messages. In crowded restaurants and airports, the sudden chorus of beeps became a soundtrack of modern life. But then came the twist no company expected. Teenagers discovered the pager. In the hands of youth, it became more than a tool. It became culture. With nothing but a small screen and numbers, teens created a secret language of codes. 143 meant "I love you." 411 meant "I need information." 911 meant "Call me now." Every beep carried weight. But the pager's story wasn't all love notes and late-night calls. It also developed a darker reputation. Because they were cheap, reliable, and anonymous, pagers became the tool of choice for drug dealers in the 1980s and 90s. Movies and TV shows depicted gangsters with beepers buzzing constantly, deals being coordinated through a string of numbers. This association gave pagers a dual identity: corporate respectability on one hand, street rebellion on the other. For some, it was a badge of responsibility. For others, a badge of defiance. No other gadget of the 20th century carried such radically different meanings depending on who wore it. By the late 1990s, the pager's reign was already under threat. Cell phones were shrinking in size, falling in price, and offering something the pager could not: actual conversations anytime, anywhere. Then came text messaging. Suddenly, the secret code of numbers was replaced by words, sentences, and entire conversations. By the early 2000s, the beep that once defined urgency began to fade. Companies that had built empires on pagers watched their markets collapse almost overnight. The device that had once symbolized connection was now a relic. And yet, the pager never fully died. To this day, hospitals still use them. Unlike smartphones, pagers don't rely on crowded cellular networks, don't need Wi-Fi, and almost never fail. For doctors, reliability still matters more than style. But for the rest of us, the pager lives on only in memory, in nostalgia, in movies and shows that capture the 80s and 90s. It represents a world before constant connectivity, when a single beep could mean love, crisis, or opportunity. The pager is obsolete, but for an entire generation, it will always be iconic. The pager wasn't just a gadget. It was the bridge between the old world of landlines and the new world of smartphones. It was the device that proved we wanted to be reachable. Always. This was obsolete yet iconic. Subscribe and join us next time as we uncover another forgotten technology that shaped the world you live in today.